I gave a patient a denture, but it was too soon. A while back, I made a denture for a patient way too soon. The patient still had most of their bottom teeth. They only had a few teeth left on top, just the front 6, sometimes referred to as the social 6. For many patients, as long as they have these top 6 front teeth, they don't feel extremely motivated to do anything, even if they can barely eat. So anyway, I had a patient who had the social 6 left, and I really urged him to consider taking those teeth out and getting a denture. The teeth looked really bad. They were really worn, and I thought it would be a good service for him. He wasn't really sure if it was right for him. He didn't know what he wanted to do, but I guess I said something that convinced him. So I took the teeth out. I made the denture. It looked really good, actually. I did all the adjustments. I did everything I could to make the denture work. Just to be perfectly clear right now, I'm talking about a removable denture. No implants, just suction prayers. The patient never wore it. He carried it around in his pocket, took it in and out all day a little while, and that was it. Eventually, he left it in the drawer at home. He never really adapted to it. I tried to convince him to get implants afterwards, but he always had an excuse. From many previous conversations with him, I knew he had the time and I knew he had the money, but there's more to it than that. For a while I thought, maybe the denture just isn't good enough. Years later, I started working with one of the best dental technicians in the United States for dentures. I was so impressed with this technician's work, I decided to go back and make the patient an amazing new denture for free. This still didn't make any difference. He didn't wear that one either. I've thought about this case a lot over the years. I took a patient that had a few front teeth left and turned him into a patient that had no front teeth left. Walks around with nothing. Now, I'm an adult, he's an adult, and we all made choices here. Despite all of that, I just didn't like it. I wish I could have a do-over. I wish it had all happened differently. Some of you listening might be thinking,
Dr. D, you didn't do anything wrong.
It's not your fault the patient didn't adapt to the treatment.
It was his own choices, his own neglect, and his own decision to go with a low-cost solution to a major health issue.
Don't take things so personally.
I appreciate you trying to cheer me up, and I don't disagree with any of that. While I didn't do anything technically wrong, legally wrong, or ethically wrong, it's still true that this wasn't a win for the patient. Like we aren't all sitting here happy, you know? In my pursuit of excellence as a dentist, I want to be part of wins. Wins for everybody, where everyone is truly satisfied. Just getting the job done is not a win. It's not excellence, and it's not good enough. I thought a lot about what I did wrong. After that, I made significant changes about how I handle these types of conversations to ensure I would never end up in this situation again. The big difference of how I handle this situation now is taking a different approach to framing who owns the problem. It always gets down to owning the problem. When I created the treatment plan for the denture, I took ownership of the problem. I had a bigger issue with his dental problem than he did. The patient wasn't at a breaking point with his dental problem yet. He wasn't ready to own the problem. Because of this, he was never going to be satisfied with the treatment, no matter what I did. What I should have done was nothing. Nothing yet, at least. I've made a lot of dentures in my career. The best dentures that I've made in my career have been the dentures that patients asked me to make for them. Whether they're tired of their current failing dental situation or tired of a broken and worn out denture, I can always solve this problem for a patient. It's actually one of my favorite things to do because it's satisfying and fun when the only place you can go is up. The worst dentures I've made in my career are just like the ones I described earlier. Situations where the patient wasn't quite ready for treatment. Sometimes I see patients that have 3 or 4 teeth left and they think I can fix them with a big bridge or something. I'm surprised when these patients are surprised a denture or implant prosthesis is the only solution. The most important part of making a great denture is a patient who is in the psychological position of acceptance that this is what they want and they're gonna do whatever it takes to make it work. I've seen patients with dentures that someone else made that are clinically unacceptable, but the patient completely happy. I've seen the opposite too, with dentures that are amazingly well made, but they belong to a patient that does not accept them. So how do I know a patient is ready for a denture? Simple. They ask for one. Thanks for watching. Follow me for more stories. And if you or someone you know is exploring options for dentures, come find me and let's have a conversation. Cheers.